Wait, Marjorie Taylor Greene announces she's resigning from
I'm an American
Congress? Wait a second. No
woman as a
way.
member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in.
Is that why
Americans
she's
are
going
used
so
by the
crazy
political
against Trump?
industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest.
It's so confusing. Is she running for Senate still or for some other position? Because what's the angle then? Why is she going anti-Trump? Because I'd assume that if she's just going to resign, that going anti-Trump would not be smart because all the death threats are not fun for your family or for yourself. I know going against Trump means she probably will not win a primary. She probably can't run again because whoever Trump endorses will probably beat her in a primary. So, like, what's the angle? Is she going to run for president in 2028? Is she going to become a podcaster? Like, what's going
And the
on?
spending power of the dollar continues to decline.
She's
The
reading
average
off a
American
teleprompter
family
right now.
can no
Like,
longer
what's going
survive
on?
on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive.
At least she's got
And
principles.
today,
She does not have
many
principles.
in my children's generation feel hopeless
She went from being how
for
she
their
was to
future
this,
and don't
to how
think
she is
they
now
will ever realize
within
the
a couple
American
weeks.
dream.
She's been
And
lying.
that
She's
breaks
been
my
lying the
heart.
entire time. She's
I
known she's
ran
been
for
crazy on
Congress in
purpose.
2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again
Run as an
meant
independent?
America first.
I don't think so.
I have one of the most
Independents
conservative
can't win.
voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I
Unless if she wants to make the party lose, I mean, she could run as an independent in every race and make Republicans lose. She should run for every important seat, for president, for Senate. Make sure Republicans never win again.
believe God creates
Nick
life at
Fuentes.
conception.
Nick Fuentes,
and I love to
podcast
fight
host.
for the little guy.
Co-host with
Strong,
Nick Fuentes,
safe
America
borders,
First.
I have fought hard for that. I fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations. And I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax
Yeah,
dollars.
that is crazy. Donald Trump praised Zohran Mamdani as good for NYC before Chuck Schumer did.
However, with almost 1 year into our
Populism,
majority,
bro.
the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital
Medically
gains
trans
taxes
a
on the
minor.
sale of your
Medically
primary home,
trans.
and eliminating H-1B visas. Just
That does not happen, by the way. Okay, so basically they say that children are being mutilated to get transgender surgeries. Now, what's really happening in these court cases, and I read one of these cases, when they say there's a medical transition happening, it means the teacher in a school is calling someone their preferred pronouns. And people like this will call that teacher evil, demonic PDF file who is manipulating a kid to get gender mutilation surgery in school, which we know is crazy. We know that does not happen. But they want to keep lying about it. And they'll ban, like, oh, we're going to ban minors from getting this surgery or whatever. It's not about the surgery. They're not banning the surgery. In these bills, it'll say, oh, you can't get this surgery, which you already can't get as a 13-year-old, obviously, or 12-year-old, whatever. But in that bill, coupled with it, it'll say we're gonna ban all trans care, even for mental health reasons, even for a therapist to talk about if somebody thinks they might have an issue. They want to get checked out by a doctor. for LGBT people that's going to be blocked as well in these bills. But they always try to spread it around like, oh, we're stopping them from cutting babies' penises. It's not happening.
They all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points.
I know Trump was swallowing all of the Clinton administration talking points.
Because they know how much credit card debt they have. They know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and no food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their Visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid.
Now, here would be the crazy event. Okay, so she's resigning from Congress, and that's January 5th, 2026. So that's like really soon. Nick Fuentes, the neo-Nazi guy who is very big into the America First movement that she also shares, and Russia also shares, funny enough. Nick Fuentes has been talking about a new party approach where it's all populism intertwined into one. So it's like, we're going to tax the wealthy. We're going to provide a robust social safety net. We're going to be nationalist and socialist. You know, national socialist. That's what the Nazis were called. But like, unironically, he's been talking about taxing the wealthy, doing pro-American people policies as long as it's only Americans getting the benefits, closing the borders. We're going to build for Americans. We're going to have no more wars, all that kind of stuff. So imagine all the populist talking points you'd hear from Bernie Sanders or like Donald Trump, all the populist parts intertwined into one candidate. What if she decides to do something like that and to help lend her credibility with the Nick Fuentes America First Party? I'm not sure if that's feasible. Maybe she's just going to go live a happy life and do a podcast and talk about the deep state. That works for a lot of these people. She'll make a lot of money, a lot less stress, a lot less work. But yeah, I don't know.
These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are, common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. The district is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard-left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee.
Hell yeah. 14 million, what is it, 10 million kids died in Africa because we killed all of USAID? I know they want to make the argument, we don't like some parts of it, some parts are corrupt. Okay, even if you think some parts are corrupt, you probably could have kept the part where we don't let like the babies die in Africa, the 10 million, 14 million children die in Africa, the pro-life people doing this, by the way.
Harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump
we were paying
and Republicans
to
power.
A couple pennies
I
to keep
traveled
10
the
million
country
kids
for
alive.
years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare. Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have all been welcomed in right after the
Her resigning like this close, like in 2026, like leaving office is crazy because she's not saying she's gonna live out or serve the rest of her term. She's saying she's gonna leave office a year ahead of time, right?
Election. And I will never forget the day I had to leave my mother's side as my father had brain surgery to remove cancerous tumors in order to fly to Washington, D.C. to defend President Trump and vote no against the Democrats' second impeachment in 2021. My poor father and my poor mother, it was way too much for all of us. Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs.
Don't fall for it, guys. She's not being rational. She's known this entire time the role she plays. They're all actors. Lauren Boebert, too. They're actors. Some of them, like Nancy Mace, she might be insane. She's probably actually crazy. And an actor at the same time. Like a crisis actor for politics and crybaby shit. But like Marjorie Taylor Greene, this entire time when she was doing all this disgusting stuff, she's been actively doing it. She knows she's been doing it. She even apologized for it. So I don't know if like she understands her political career now is over. So now she's being honest. That's possible. But I'm not. I don't know what to say. These people are weird, bro. They're weird. The Nick Fuentes angle is kind of scary. Because if she brings a bigger voice to that movement, I mean, it has the potential to take over the Republican Party as all the older ones age out. Because the young ones are very pro neo-Nazi, very pro Nick Fuentes, as far as like big Republicans go.
AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars,
I mean, you can
and
agree with some
demanding the
things,
release of the
but
Epstein files.
they always want to sound popular.
Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative.
No way.
America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for. However, while yes, hurtful, my heart remains filled with joy, my life is filled with happiness, and my true convictions remain unchanged because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God who created everything in existence. You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. I do not cling to those things because they are meaningless and empty traps that hold too many people in Washington. I believe in term limits and do not think Congress should be a lifelong career or an assisted living facility. My only goal and desire has ever been to hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put America first. And I have fought against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda on children and against women. With that has brought years of non-stop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually
Yeah, her last day in office being January 5th. Last day in office.
destroying our country. And instead, the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington. Then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path
She's
ahead.
just leaving.
I'll be resigning from office with
She's
my
just
last day
going.
being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Yeah, that's random. Is she trying to get out before the economy crashes and Republicans all collapse as well? Is something going to go down that she thinks is going to go down? Is she, I don't know. Is she going to say that Israel made her quit? What is the line going to be? The White House is doing ridiculous things right now. Bro, they're so mad that Trump likes Mamdani. They're so mad about it. They're so mad. These are good pictures though. These are good pictures in front of FDR. Like, bro, if Mamdani was born in America, he'd be a president someday. He'd be a president someday if he was born in America. If he was born here, bro, he'd be a president someday. I'm just saying. That's crazy. Crazy. What do you guys think? What's going on? Why is she quitting? You still love her? Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene quit. She's gone. She resigned. She's leaving. You think Trump offered her a cabinet position? Why would Trump put her in the cabinet if he hates her and wants her to? He was gonna spend tens of millions of dollars to get her to not win again. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, she would make more money leaving Congress and making a podcast. And she could do a lot more work behind the scenes and be a part of all these like radical fringe right-wing parties. It might not be worth it anymore for her. She doesn't want to do the act anymore of being crazy. I really don't know. She might come back again and run in 2028, build her profile, become popular in right-wing media. I don't. Maybe she'll just go into the darkness and enjoy her life. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. No, Rick Scott. Rick Scott. No, here's the new face of the Democrat Party, a literal communist on his way to the White House to be schooled by President Trump. Yeah, bro. Zoran was schooled by President Trump today. He looks schooled. He's so schooled. They're mad about a selfie. Mamdani posts selfie as he boards plane for meeting with President Trump. Like, bro, imagine having that much pull, that much aura, that much weight, that they post a picture of your selfie in the airplane, bro. Like, just imagine being that well known. It's actually crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Trump after one meeting with Mamdani.
Big plan. I've seen it. I've seen it. I can't even compute all of it. It's so fantastical.
Communism.
Just had a great meeting, a really good, very productive meeting. We have one thing in common. We want this city of ours that we love to do very well.
They're together. They both love the city. Mamdani did really good there too.